even if you're not too handy around the stove. With the recipe from a good cookbook, a little bit of patience, and a well-stocked kitchen, almost anybody can create an elegant meal. Now, that may not be too surprising, but what might be more surprising is the fact that you can leave all of these conveniences behind when you go into the Southeast wilderness, but not leave behind an elegant meal.
Daniel takes great pleasure in wilderness paddling during the day and fine eating during the night, both for good reasons.
You don't want to spoil the mood. You want the quality of the food to match the quality of the experience, or to enhance it if possible.
Kayak cooking borrows from the Spartan, though lightweight aspects of backpacking and the luxury of space enjoyed by rafters.
What we're doing with Kayak Cookery is breaking new ground. We're bringing ideas from all of these different traditions, and also, what are we putting them into? We're putting them into a big cooler, because the kayak is on the water, most of the time anyway. The water here in Southeast Alaska is around the 40-degree range. That's exactly the same temperature as the bottom drawer in your refrigerator. You can fix almost anything that you can fix at home. What you do is you think, what would I like to eat out there? And then you think, how can I package it to get it there? And then how fast do I have to use it in the trip? Or how long will these ingredients last?
Good meals on the beach start with good planning at home.
So I go through my cookbook, or I go through my recipes and so on, and I pick the things that sound good to eat, things that I know that I like, that I've made before, things that I want to try, things that are in season.
One way to save space and increase dining elegance is to dry food at home.
Okay. One of the things that I think is the most useful is tomato sauce. Straight out of the can, any brand. Dries beautifully. You know what a fruit leather looks like? Well, we're going to have a tomato sauce leather. But what's important here is for people who are interested in kayak cookery to know that food drying is something that they might want to consider, and that you don't have to make a career of it, and it's a way of taking some very everyday foods and making them ready to travel.
After it's dried, the tomato sauce can be put through a blender and made even smaller, or just packaged as is. Another way to save space and weight is eliminate unneeded bulk on prepared foods.
I'll take apart a cardboard box like this, take out the important stuff that's inside, and get it ready to go traveling. And if you ever keep all the outer wrappings from this sort of thing to see just how much it is, you'll be amazed to discover that half of the bulk gets thrown away.
It's good to repackage all food into plastic bags. That keeps it from going bad, from getting wet, and from spreading odors that might attract animals. Each plastic food bag should then be placed inside a larger waterproof bag.
I can carry enough food for one person for a month in my boat, and carry my tent and my sleeping bag, pad, and all my other gear.
The food is organized at home, so it's easy to find on the trip. That means putting all the breakfast food in one waterproof bag, all the lunches in another, and so on. A good safety precaution is to make sure some food is in each boat. For this meal, Linda's going to make spaghetti for the main course and a cheesecake for dessert. It's a made-on-the-beach meal she rates 5 on a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty.
So this is what you made at home?
Right. This is the dried powder, which before that was a leather, which before that was a can of tomato sauce, and now it's in the process of turning back into tomato sauce again. Remember these little sausage bits? Might as well put them in here
While the spaghetti is cooking, it's time to work on the cheesecake dessert, which is surprisingly easy to make on the beach.
You've got two packages that come from the store. One is the crumb crust and one is the filling. The crumb crust you press into the bottom of a skillet, just adding some maple syrup to make it the right consistency. The filling mix you beat with water or milk, pour it into the filling and set it in the shade to set. It takes about 15-20 minutes for it to set up.
It's going to taste as good as it would at home?
Absolutely, it'll taste better.
Good.
Our spaghetti is just short of done. Our spaghetti sauce goes on for the final
A little bit more simmer there?
round. A little bit more simmer.
That's looking good enough to eat, Linda.
You think so? You're game for this.
Go out on a limb here and try a new adventure in outdoor eating.
Yeah, this is what we're waiting for. Want to try that little guy and see if he's fully reconstituted yet? Does it taste like a sausage?
I thought it was a cantaloupe. Time to eat?
You bet.
Best table in the house.
Yeah.
Look at that view.
Yeah, not too shabby. Now, how about the wine you were chilling in the bottom of the boat?
Oh, it was the wine you were chilling in the bottom of your bowl.
We blew it.
Did we make
blew
one
it.
mistake? We're ready for the last course here. That was
We're
a great
ready
supper.
for the last course. Well, thank you. Now, getting it out of the pan is always interesting. Boy, that's set up beautifully. Now, wouldn't you say this just about serves 4?
I thought it served 2 and you were finished cutting right there.
What? That's round 2.
Wait, for remarkably little work.
Yeah.
Got a pretty nice,
Isn't that amazing?
let's not talk about it anymore. Let's do it more. Ooh, one more.
One more.
A big one. A little more?
Oh, that's about right. And let's take this off the stove. We wouldn't want to knock it over and lose any. Wouldn't want to pollute the beach.
So we get to try this now?
We get to try this
After all
now.
this talk?
See what we've got. I think probably the secret to having a pleasant experience on the beach as well as a good meal is doing your homework ahead of time, is doing the planning and doing the shopping and the packing so that when you get out of here it's a piece of cake.
This week on Rain Country, we filled up our 30-minute menu with a variety of culinary offerings. Now it's time to clean up and say goodbye. But we'll be back again next week and set another spread before you. All you have to do is bring along a taste for things Southeastern. In the meantime, I'm Scott Foster, living on more than bread alone.